Welcome to the Hopium Podcast, just two men's opinion about crypto and NFTs. As always, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. You ready?
All right, go for it.
So we're going, dude?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'm Big Papa Burmpf. Background.
Yeah, why'd you get into it?
Why did I get into it? Get into crypto or
Sure
get
thing.
into... So, I mean, fuck, dude. I'm a veteran. I got out of the Marines about a year ago. Have way too much downtime once you get out. And I just had not shit going on. So my homie fucking was like, hey, look, check out this thing, fucking Safe Moon. And then Safe Moon fucking boomed. And I was like immediately hooked because I fucking love making money. Who doesn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh yeah, there's this other thing fucking called Solana. I'm like, what the fuck is a Solana? Why does that sound so dumb?
What is a Solana?
But he's like, yeah, dude, you can get fucking Soul Punks. It's like crypto punks, but on Solana, dude. It's gonna boom. It's gonna be great. And then it did, and it was great. And I was hooked again.
You still have it?
No, dude, I had like 20 or 30 at one time, I think.
Did you mint?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I'm so Solana NFT OG that I was in the fucking Discord for Soul Punks before they even minted.
Yeah.
Like Solana at the time was like $25, I think. Like it was fucking like I mean, granted, there's fucking people that would be like, oh, I've been with Solana since it was like 2 cents or some shit.
Sure.
But I mean, as far as NFTs goes, fucking looking at one of the fucking founding fathers right here. Yeah, dude. First NFT ever was fucking Soul Punks, a deriv of a fucking ETH NFT.
Did you know it was a deriv?
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't understand like NFT markets, so
Sure.
I was like thinking, it was like, oh, if CryptoPunks can get to this point, these will surely fucking go. And to an extent, they kind of did. Like I put my initial investment, I think, was like $1,000, maybe.
Okay.
Because I'd made all this fucking money off Safe Moon. Because I literally got into Safe Moon. Like I don't know if you've ever seen like one of the charts, but it's just like boop, straight up, like almost completely vertical. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
And I got in right before that, and I sold about halfway down it.
Let's go.
So I made a fuck ton off that. Well, I mean, fuck ton relative, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I fucking ended up playing out, and I love it, dude. I love Solana.
Cool. So I think my journey is a little different. I started in crypto back in like 2019, so I haven't been in it for a long time. But like I bought Ethereum back when it was $400, so like that's when I started buying crypto. So I actually got into Ethereum first before any other crypto.
It's a good starting point.
Yeah. My journey into Solana was kind of interesting. It was actually because of TikTok. So,
oh no.
Blockchain Boy, or I think, yeah, Blockchain Boy. Yeah, I saw when he was gonna mint a Solana NFT. And so I was like, what is Solana? And like, what is NFTs? And so kind of started digging into it. And it was Meta Troopers, I think is what it was called. I mean, it was a long time ago.
What troopers?
Like I think it was Meta Troopers. I can't even remember the name.
Meta Troopers.
It was like a 2 Sol mint back when Solana was like $200.
Oh, dude.
And I minted like 3 of them, and they instantly went to like 0.2 Sol. Yeah, so my start was a little rough. But since then, started in August, my journey's been kind of up and down a little bit. Got, had my first rug, of course, that I put a ton of money into.
What was that?
Dogs on the Block. I hate even saying that name. It was around the same time that Crypto Cubs started minting.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, it was.
It's these.
Yeah, so.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I think I minted like 35 of them at like 0.5 Sol, I think, 0.3 Sol. Again, when Solana was a little bit higher. So it was rough, man. My start for Solana NFTs was pretty rough. So the fact that I'm still standing and didn't quit after that is kind of impressive.
Yeah.
But I saw monkeys. Like I always wanted a monkey. It took me a couple months to get one. Was able to get one in February. And here we are.
Damn, dude.
So
I got really lucky because I dodged most of like the rugs and stuff really early on.
sure.
Like even like what was it called? Soul Bears?
Yeah.
I dodged that shit. And
Funny.
well, I mean, what's come since then? I mean, it's been the
So,
amount of rugs that we've had is kind of
it's sad.
yeah. But I mean, like you got to think it's one of those things where it's like it's a blessing and a curse, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's a blessing in the sense of like it's a result of our blockchain
Yeah.
working as well as it does.
Yeah. Just
So
have people take advantage of it that way. But
yep.
So I guess now that we're 10 minutes in, so we decided to come up with the name of the podcast. It was your idea, so I'll let you
We're gonna call it Hopium
Opium.
because that's what everyone's running on right now. Because there's really nothing else.
So I think it's fitting, especially with like where things are at with the market. When things are so shitty that hopefully this will be a bright spot for everybody listening for sure. So
All right, let's talk about the Bears.
the Bears,
Your
the
favorite
OK
topic.
Bears.
In case anyone listening isn't familiar with the man fucking JPEG here, the premier bear shiller on
Yes.
Twitter.
I've been informed that I have been muted by many, which is okay by me. I mean, okay,
Hey man, you
Bears
gotta pump your bag, you know what I'm saying?
is my biggest W in this space, bar none. So of course I'm going to.
Listen,
I
if I was sitting on like relatively like $100,000 JPEG, I'm showing the fuck out of it too. I'm gonna be straight. Like if I had that shit, I am every day. You're gonna see me with a picture of that fucking bear. It's gonna be printed on my walls. I'm gonna have little stickers made and shit. It's gonna be everywhere. 100%.
Yeah, no.
But,
So
I know you're a lot more
bullish on the Bears.
yeah, bullish on the Bears. Tell me why that is exactly.
I think besides the obvious, I mean, coming into it, I don't think anybody expected Bears to do what Bears have done. The volume's insane, the intention it's got alone from like Ethereum people. Clearly the not okay Bears on OpenSea is a testament to that. It's clearly gotten Ethereum's attention, whether that's good or bad. But I think it's one, for me personally, it's been a lot of Solana's first, like their big win, which is pretty cool because Solana hasn't really had a ton of big win. I mean, it hasn't had any kind of win like this. But for me, in particular, like I was in a kind of a tough spot. Like I took a loan out of my monkey, was flipping some sets, and got pretty lucky with the OK Bear. So for me, the Coral DAO like is why I'm bullish, and I think a lot of people have heard about the Coral DAO, but even like today, Tobias Harris, an NBA, for player for the 76ers, bought one and was chatting in a Twitter DM. So is there, a ton of reasons as of right now to be bullish? I can see why people aren't. There hasn't been a ton of announcements. But
I mean, you could just say it was just like good Solana adoption, really.
sure.
Like, that's a decent reason to be bullish, just because it's like, I mean, you're kind of right. Like it's brought a lot of ETH. It's one of those things where it's like no one really knows what caused it, but like I guess the right ETH people noticed and they started talking about it and they got more ETH people in.
Yeah.
And any new liquidity into Solana is good liquidity. So like for me personally, I'm not necessarily super bullish on the Bears, but I can definitely appreciate what they've done for the ecosystem, right? Because I mean, like you can't scoff at was it like 1.4 million volume now? Like that's a dumb fucking number. Like that's crazy.
It's nuts. Well, and like a couple of the spaces that the founders have done is another reason, in my opinion, to be bullish. These guys are very well spoken. They've prepared for this moment. which I think some people like to just say it's dumb luck and it kind of caught fire. But no, I think this team has done a lot of preparation. I know one of the founders mentioned that he had been in like branding marketing for like 13 years and was bringing this experience over. And they were already working, you know, behind the scenes from some of the teasers that they've given. They were out in San Francisco. So I'm excited to see kind of what else they got. I mean, the wristband thing kind of will forever be a moment, you know, a moment of history in Solana. And I look forward to rocking my my wristband.
I think it's really interesting because they kind of took off out of like nowhere on nothing, right? Like so many projects, especially for a long while, there was like a utility meta, and it kind of was ending right as the bears came out, right?
Yep.
But I still can't understand. Like I don't know what the like catalyst was to like set these things off, but it's kind of insane.
Oh, it is. I mean, the project went from like a, what was it, like a 1.5, 2 soul mint,
1.5
up
man,
to
yep.
almost 180 instantly.
Yeah.
And, you know, retraced back down. I think it got back to like the 70 range. And then has, you know, since then kind of stabilized its way. Every little level it goes up. So like right now it's pretty stable around 230, which is insanely impressive with one, the crypto market being down, and two, you know, NFTs as a whole kind of not a ton of price action. And maybe, you know, is that due to the bears sucking up a lot of that? You know, probably.
I feel like we're kind of on two sides of the coin on the bears, because like on your hand you're extremely bullish, right? But you're like personally invested.
I'm biased,
right?
obviously.
So like it makes sense for you to be bullish, right? Because if you weren't bullish, you wouldn't be invested. But for me personally, I missed it when it ripped.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at monkey stuff, you know. But I missed the rip. And I can like, as someone that's not necessarily bullish on bears, I can still like objectively look and say that they've done incredibly well. But for me, it's like you get this project that has made millions at this point, right? In the first couple of days, and they come out and they say, "Hey, everybody, get wristbands." It's like I can't feel comfortable with that, you know. Like I'm not saying they like have to give you free shit, right? But like when the best thing that they can come up with is, oh, like we're doing branding, and then like, and that branding is you get a wristband, like not even a fucking t-shirt, man.
Yeah,
like,
but like they came out and kind of clarified some of that. Like they, and I think this is another thing why I appreciate about the team is that they said, you know, we could slap a logo on a hoodie and it'd be cheap and send it out. That's not what they're wanting to do. They're, you know, they're wanting to find something that's of value and something that is quality, and you know that'll take time. I mean, even with like the Monkey DAO, I bought a hoodie from them back in February.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't got it, but at the same, like I'm not upset about it. I know the time and the effort going into these hoodies. I mean, it's merchandise that I'll legitimately wear into public spaces and you know, happily do so. And so I think the wristband is kind of genius. I think it was another marketing ploy. I mean, bad publicity is still publicity, and it actually gave kind of something the community to rally around. I mean, because I believe that the team is not done delivering, obviously, or you know, I would be out.
I mean, it'd be insane to say that they don't have more in store.
So are you?
I will say,
you think
the
you're
one thing
because you missed the pump?
I'm sorry.
And so I kind of wonder if this sentiment is shared with others. Do you feel like you're not as bullish because you missed the run up?
I think my mindset, obviously we've had conversations about this before. I'm a pretty conservative like investor. I'm pretty pessimistic about different projects, and I've made a lot and I've lost a lot because of that. But for me, I see a project rip straight up into the hundreds, right? How often have we seen projects that ripped like that and stayed up that high? We haven't. I mean, it hasn't happened. It doesn't like ever happen, right? Even monkeys, when they first ripped, they like corrected pretty aggressively the first time, and they've done up and down over the past about year now, I think. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I will be super happy to say that I was wrong. in a month or two from now. Like I'm not a hater by any means, right? But I think, I mean, I was saying this when they hit 1 million volume and they're at another 400,000. So like, I might just be wrong and I might just be right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was saying that even at 1 million, that I think like the movement that they've made has been made already. Because I mean, you had seen at about 1 million, most of the people that had minted had made their money and left already.
Yep.
So now that we're at like 1.4 milli, and you know the floor is substantially higher, the listed count's pretty down. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I think for me personally, unless the team comes out with something that's really gonna like set them in stone in the ecosystem, that what they've done has already happened, or it's about to happen, it's about to fall off.
Okay.
Because the thing is like you can get all the hype in the world, right? But to maintain that hype, you have to put out. So they're gonna have to do some real big things to keep the big numbers coming.
I agree. So like in your mind, what is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
If I knew that, I'd have my own project and I'd be making millions, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I'm definitely looking forward to see what the team does. Yeah. It'll be really cool to like see them make all this money and then turn around and be like, let's make something cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot more often than not, it seems you get a lot of these projects, they get a ton of soul off mint and then a ton of soul off royalties, and you never see it again.
Nope.
Like it doesn't cost a lot to bring a couple devs on, you know, like I mean, it does, but relatively, like let's say you make $5 million, right? Does not cost that much to bring a couple of devs on, make a banger website, make a couple banger products, do whatever it is you need to do, right? But more often than not, we see these projects, they take all the soul, and they, I mean, I'm sure they're like buying houses and like doing whatever with it. And like, that's great for them, right? Like I'm happy that people are being successful, but I'm really hopeful that with the kind of money that we've seen flow into the Bears, that the team behind it turns around and puts it back into the project. Maybe not necessarily. I'm not saying take no like wins at all, right? But I would love to see like even just like royalty money, like go back into the project in some form somehow.
Yeah. So, and I know they do like AMAs at the first of every month. So I'll be interested to see kind of what April, you know, the first AMA in April or the AMA in April brings.
Yeah. So. I mean, is that going to be something that's public, or because I know you mentioned that they're doing something with the Coral DAO specifically.
Yeah, no, the AMAs at the first of the month are public to everybody.
Okay.
They did the one with Magic Eden. I'm not sure if you're able to tune into that one, but that one was really good. Basically, every time I've heard the founders of OK Bears speak, it's been a reason for me to be more bullish. I mean, this is they seem just prepared and ready to do kind of what they're planning on and want to do. So
that's good.
Bullish
they definitely need to, at the very least, they need to step the merch game up. I don't think anyone gives a fuck about the wristbands.
I know. No,
I think it would be really cool if they did kind of like what the monkeys are doing with like the custom merch. Yeah. Like it would be super cool to see you in your coral bear like on a hoodie.
Yeah. No, and I think they are. I think they said that'd be a couple like they're looking into finding like quality, you know, shit. They just didn't want to pump it out. And
I mean, hey, as long as things are in the pipeline, that's all you can ask, right?
It is.
Like,
well,
you can't ask for things right away.
Yeah. Yeah. And the wristband is pretty good marketing if you think about it.
Is it?
Like how many people wear wristbands? You know, how like there could be tons of people wear. I mean, how many, you know, people actually.
Okay, but those are like fair wristbands. Those aren't like they're not a fucking Rolex where people are gonna be like repping that shit every day and someone's gonna stop you in the street like, whoa, where'd you get that wristband from, dude?
Well, if they come out before NFT NYC, like let's see how many people rock them.
That would be cool.
So
that would be dope. I think something that's kind of been a missed opportunity for a lot of projects, and I don't know why more people haven't done this yet. You need branded stuff, right? So like Monkey DAO, obviously you got your monkey, it says Monkey DAO on it. Why do they not have t-shirts, hoodies, whatever, with massive QR codes that lead to like the website? Like think about that. Like think about like
T-shirt with a QR code.
Huh?
You would wear a T-shirt with a QR code?
100%. So when I would, because okay, for clarification, I'm the community manager for Only Dice. For anyone that doesn't know, and we were talking because I wanted to. I probably won't doing it now, but I was talking about going and showing up to NFT NYC and repping for Only Dice, and trying to make some connections there and try to get people interested. And part of that was I was looking at getting merch made for Only Dice and put a big QR code and the website URL on the back. Because if you think about it, right, you get something that catches someone's attention with their shirt, some kind of flashy graphic or something, and like, oh, I wonder what that is. And you put a fucking QR code on your back. All they have to do is take their phone, take their camera, click on it, and they're at the website. It's that easy.
Hear me
That's
out.
that's free marketing.
Hats with QR codes.
Hats would be dope too.
Hats would be kind of sick. You could put just the QR logo like that. That'd be sick.
Yeah, and I don't understand why more companies haven't done this. Like, have you seen a project do it yet?
No, I mean, I've heard of projects with like QR stickers.
So yeah, stickers too. Stickers makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But the thing with something like that is you gotta like really have context to it.
Sure, I agree.
So like, if I see a QR code like on a bus stop, I'm not touching it.
No,
that's gonna do some shady stuff. So you need to like, it needs to be like targeted marketing, right? So like NFT NYC, hacker houses, stuff like that. And I still don't understand why projects haven't done that. I think that's a really big missed opportunity there.
Agreed. Free alpha for any projects out there. You're welcome.
Yeah. Hire us. We'll be your marketing team.
Yeah. So I think we kind of both agree that OK Bears is a special project. But I think we're both we're on different sides of the fence as far as the direction it's headed. So I look forward to visiting this episode and seeing, reflecting on that for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if I get proven wrong, I'll be the first to admit it, and I'll be excited to.
Sure. Obviously.
I love to see new projects succeed. I love to see new people in the space. I love, like we said before, I've been here since the beginning, and I've watched this whole ecosystem take form. I've loved every second of it. I love this ecosystem. Sure. So to bring more people from ETH that were maybe Solana haters before, and they come in, because I can't tell you how many people I've seen on Twitter that have been not necessarily ETH hater, like Sol haters, but have kind of looked down on Solana until the bears. They grab a bear and like, oh, look at all these cool NFTs. They grab a monkey and like, oh, cool monkeys. There's a lot going on here. And it just opens a whole new world for them. And I love it.
So
I love it so much.
I agree. And it's weird because I joined Solana in August, but I felt like I had missed so much when I really hadn't. But I didn't know. I didn't know the difference. All I saw was, monkeys, and DJ apes at the time, they were like the blue chips to own. And like that was always my goal. I always wanted a monkey, but so anyways.
The line's been a little blurred on that one. I mean, even up until like December, I think it was very definitive.
Sure.
Like who the blue chips were. It was always like for a long, well, maybe not up until December for Thugbirds, but Thugbirds were most of the time they were up there.
That's true.
Monkeys, DJ apes. There were a few other like smaller market cap ones that were really big. Like Aurora was always super big.
Yeah.
But after like Christmas time, I think, or like the holidays and like coming into like this year, like a ton more projects are showing up and just exploded. DeGods absolutely exploded. Yeah, and it started to really to blur the lines there for who is the reigning king. And I mean, it's starting to really show. I know something, we've brought up monkeys a couple of times. I know something we weren't necessarily prepared to talk about, but I mean, let's talk about
it.
What's going on with the monkey DAO? So I know you've kind of changed your stance from being super bullish on monkeys recently, if I understand correctly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's my I think a lot of people you see out there, I feel like are kind of trending that same way. It's not that I dislike, I mean, obviously I still love monkeys. I love everything that they've done and continue to try to do. But there's definitely some baggage with the SMB dev team holding them back, and something like the internal drama being put out to Twitter, I think was a bad look. I think it's kind of given monkeys kind of an eye-opening, opportunity to realize, okay, like, the market's changing. We got to kind of change with it. I still like the monkeys. I still think the monkeys have some great builders. I think Solana owes a lot to the monkeys. So I'm not going to say I'm bearish on monkeys, but like the only thing I ever wanted to be was a monkey holder, right? Like that was my goal. But now, yeah, things have changed a little bit. I don't think it's as exciting, which is sad, because I think the monkeys still offer a lot to Solana. So I still think there's hope. I think they got a rocky road ahead of them, but maybe we can kind of go into that in another episode. But if they were able to separate themselves from the SMB dev team, I think that would really allow that project the DAO to just boom.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree, and I think I'm gonna go on a limb and say I think we kind of speak for a lot of monkey holders or people that their perception of the monkey DAO when we say that it used to be a lot more exciting.
Yeah,
because like we both got in about the same time, right?
mm-hmm.
And back then, even though it's only been a handful of months, completely different atmosphere to the monkeys. And I mean, we got in not long before the vote started on what to do about royalties or entanglement or anything like that. And, especially recently with the development of the SMB team not wanting to support the marketplace anymore, I think that not entangling is starting to come to bite us in the ass.
Absolutely.
So you were in favor of entanglement, right?
Oh yeah, I was. And I mean,
Okay.
I was a fairly new monkey, but it didn't take long to figure out that the greed was a huge factor into what was going on with the SMB dev team, which I get it. It was their project. It was their baby. Like, I understand that, but at the same time, a little self-reflection can go a long way. And this project has so much potential. And I think almost every monkey besides Gen 1 holders and the dev team would agree that they're holding back SMB.
100%. Well, also, I know the argument was made at the time was if we do entanglement, that kind of works around the original agreement that was made for the Gen 1s.
Uh-huh.
But the problem I noticed, and something that really rubbed me the wrong way, and the reason I leaned so heavily towards entanglement at the time, was almost everyone that was on the opposite side of it, being the dev team and the Gen 1s, weren't even in the monkey DAO. Like, I mean, especially at the time, I think they hired someone for community now, but the SMB Discord was dead. There's nothing happening. The dev team has done almost nothing. I mean, it's been a project that's a year old now. Like, you got projects that are making whole games, and they had barely scraped by the marketplace. And there's some drama to go along with the marketplace too. That's not even free from controversy. But I mean, you've seen super inactive devs, no community, anything, right? So it's pretty easy to see that the monkey DAO was the primary driver of value for the NFT.
Like, I didn't even know there was an SMB Discord.
Yeah, exactly.
I joined the DAO's Discord and then was informed there was an SMB Discord. Like I didn't know there was a separation. Like my eyes were kind of open to what was going on. And so from that standpoint, it's quite obvious to me like what should have happened. But I hope it gets resolved. I think the monkeys have a ton of potential. Like some of the monkey board. I mean, shout out to Nam, dude. I mean, Nam is the main reason I wanted a monkey. To get a monkey, I mean, that guy is hands down one of the biggest drivers of SMB in my opinion. And I feel bad that this kind of thing is holding them back from really letting this take off, because monkeys deserve it. I mean, they used to join a Discord and you'd see somebody with a monkey PFP and you'd be like, holy shit, okay, SMB's here, like, so, this is serious. And it's kind of lost that that initial shock, like of people seeing a monkey. It's not that factor anymore.
I would just like to give a big shout out, because I know it's kind of been a recent thing to give them flack. Huge shout out to the monkey board.
Sure.
Those guys are absolutely killing it. Obviously, Nam's included in that, right? We both love Nam. But like even like this controversy recently, like with what happened between Solana Legend and G, like G bounced from the board for a minute over some drama, and that's to me completely unacceptable. Like G needs to be on the board. Like G is a real one.
Well, and G's
so
also,
like
he's helped me so much with like validator questions and what he does for the DAO. Like it's G provides value. Like
yeah, they all do. They're all awesome.
Solana Legend. No offense to Solana Legend. I don't have
complete offense to Solana Legend. All you do is start fucking drama and I hate you. I don't hate you. I'm joking. But seriously, stop being a fucking drama queen in the fucking monkey DAO. But no, I mean like you got to think about where the DAO is at, and think about everything they've done. 100% free.
Yeah.
The amount of time, like Nam, like he doesn't get paid.
Yeah, it's insane. From
the monkey DAO to go to all these places. He represents the monkey DAO. He's almost constantly traveling. He's been all over the world representing the monkey DAO.
I mean, imagine if
he does not get paid a dime.
His own project.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But
Nam, by the way, I still don't want to fight you. Okay.
I do, Nam. Especially if you listen to this, when we boxing, that's all I'm going to say about that. When we boxing.
Well, do you want to talk about the state of the market then, and kind of how you feel about it moving forward? Your thoughts?
I miss the days when Solana was at 250. Oh boy, this is, for transparency, this has been my first cycle, I guess, if you call it that. Watching Sol and all of crypto shoot to the moon and then come crashing back down. So as a first cycle trader goes, I'm paying for my mistakes and I'm, learn from the process. But I mean, especially recently with all the Luna stuff going on, there's been so much negative sentiment around crypto in general, and just like, stables and stuff like that. And some of it's valid, but like, how many people have we lost from the community over Solana being at $55?
Good question. I mean,
like, it's mass exodus right now. Like my Twitter feed has been dead. And it's super sad.
You're welcome. I'm keeping it alive.
JPEG single-handedly carrying my fucking
my
Twitter feed. No, I can't beat you, buddy. Maybe I will. Who knows? But it's kind of sad, like I started doing this full time like maybe a month ago, I think. And it kind of sucks that right when I get fully invested to and I get to a spot in my life where I'm comfortable, like truly committing myself to this space, that it starts to take as big of a shit as it has. But I'm still as bullish on Solana as I was a year ago when it was at $30, at 6 months ago when it was at 250. Like for me, and I think the big differentiator of the people that make it don't make it. And again, first cycle, don't take anything I have to say, do your own research, all that junk, right? I think for me, the big deciding factor is if you make it or not, is if you truly believe in what you have going on. So like I personally am super passionate, super bullish about what Solana as a blockchain has going on. Like, I mean, Solana Pay, come on.
Right.
Tell me that can't be like integrated into Cash App. Tell me that can't be integrated into your bank app. Like
Venmo, all of it.
Yeah, Venmo, exactly. So it's like, how can this not become something? It's too cheap, it's too fast. And obviously, yes, we all know it has its own issues, right? We've all experienced the bad TPS days, but it's a beta, like at the end of the day, we've all been rocking on a beta for the past year. And I mean, I can't wait to see where it goes. If they can figure out, because I know a lot of the issues they've had with TPS has been a bot issue. And as soon as they can figure out, and I think they already have to some extent, but as soon as they can find a permanent fix and a solution to the botting tearing down the TPS, I think there's no way but for this blockchain.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I was actually talking to a friend about it yesterday. This exact conversation about because I kind of got him into well, no, I didn't get him into crypto, but he's been into crypto for a little bit. And he's like, man, what do you think about what's going on? And I said, it's just funny the conversations people have when things are good. When Solana's 250 bucks, it's man, I wish I would have bought Solana when it was 40, 50 bucks. I wish I would have loaded up and the opportunity presents itself and everybody's like, oh, well, shit. So, crypto's crashing, get out, get out, get out. It's like, no, like, let's take this time to, obviously not financial advice, but this was my mindset is this is the time to be buying. And so I've been buying Solana. I've been, adding to my Solana. As far as L1s are concerned, I think Solana has the opportunity to be the L1 that you want to own. I think Solana has so much potential. The speed, like you said, the speed, just the cost. I think Solana still has a long ways to go. But I don't understand how you can't be bullish on the Solana ecosystem. And I'm biased, clearly, but I will pitch Solana to anybody and everybody that will listen. So I think now's I'm buying Solana. I think that the future is very bright for Solana. I'm excited to see what's to come.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, I don't think I've taken more than I think 20 Solana and ever put it into USDC and taken it out. Like almost every Solana I've made is still in Solana, like in the ecosystem somewhere. So like both of us putting our money where our mouth are, right? Like we're both like we're there, we're in it. Something that's like, I guess the perspective on it's always kind of hard, right? Because like we've been in crypto long, like granted, like I said, first cycle, haha, but I was in Solana like 25 bucks, 30 bucks, right?
Yeah.
So like where we're at is not new ground for me. Like we could have went to 30 and I'd be like, oh boy, like where I started, time to buy more.
Yep.
But like you gotta think, like a lot of people, how many people got into Solana at 250
bucks?
Like that must fucking hurt. Like down 5 times. like yeah, we're used to the big ups, right? Like going from 25, 30 bucks up to 250 was straight adrenaline. Like I was high on life. That was going on.
Sure.
But I mean, we have to think about how many people were like, oh, what's Solana at 200? And they're buying their first NFT for 1 SOL at 250. And now they're like, my JPEG is worth nothing. And I have my SOL is worth nothing. So it's
no, like this is the cheapest I've bought Solana was on this dip. I started buying, I think, Solana when it was probably 60 to 80 bucks back last year. And so this dip was the cheap. Like I said, I started buying Ethereum back in 2019, but Solana was not on my radar. I don't even know if Solana started in 2017, I think. But as far as buying Solana, it was only about August of last year. So this was, for me, it's easy to be scared, I think, with seeing kind of what the market's doing. Stock markets, just here in the States, inflation in general, man, it's kind of a bearish sentiment all around. But like for me, like you see people say it, this is where, money is to be made, is in this market. And if you can truly afford to and hold on to it, I think that you're going to be pretty happy in a couple months.
I 100% agree.
So
my mindset, like on my strategy for the future, right? Worst case, let's say I'm not able to keep doing this full time. That's not the end of the world for me, right? I still won't take all my SOL out because in my mind, we give it 5 years. Who's to say Bitcoin's not 100 grand? Who's to say Solana's not like 10 or more? Who's to say Bitcoin doesn't just get wiped off the map and like Ethereum 2 or whatever the fuck it is that Ethereum's doing, if it ever comes out, right? But let's say Ethereum, Solana are just sitting there at the top. But I mean, also something everyone's got to think about, because obviously like we're super bullish. So like take it with a grain of salt, right? Because you also have to think about how many people were bullish on Luna. So let's get into Luna a little bit.
Okay. Did you invest in Luna?
I'm sorry.
Did you have Luna? Did you invest in it?
So I did
Okay.
at $1.
Oh, like on its way down or on its way up?
Yeah. Yep. So I didn't have any when it was high. I think maybe I had set up like a trading bot months ago, like last year, because I was playing around with the idea of doing like spot trading bots. I think I'd put like $1,000 into that and let it trade for a while, but I was never like personally like sit and hold on Luna. I mean, I don't know the specifics behind like how it was supposed to work, but I've never seen something fall so heavily before. I mean, what was its all-time high even? Like
I think
in the 80s, I think, right?
$80. Yeah, yeah.
So for it to go from that all the way down to the fraction of a cent that it is today, it's tragic, honestly.
Absolutely.
It's really unfortunate, but that also like it leads on to the point of you always need to be diversified, right? You got to have a little bit of all the pie. So for the people, you know, like let's go to the all-time high on Luna was into the $115 range.
Oof.
So imagine having $115 Luna, and then now it's at 0.00019. Jesus.
That's I just feel for people, man. Like
I do too.
I hadn't bought Luna. That wasn't anything that I had really messed with. I just didn't know anything about Luna. So kind of seeing the the rise and the fall of it. I feel bad because I know there was a lot of people that put a lot of money into it. But my thing was, I couldn't understand is how people started panicking about other cryptos because of Luna. Like, not all crypto is made the same.
I think it was a fear of
like regulation,
stable coins, and something. Okay, for people that don't know me, which is hopefully most people listening to this, I am an avid anti-government person. I think the government should have as little going on in everyone's lives as possible. So anytime there's a little hint of government foul play, my mind is immediately there. So I saw a tweet a couple days ago that was talking about it was the IRS or the SEC, it was something like that. One of the government organizations talking about potentially doing regulation on stablecoins now as a result of what happened. And I had seen tweets prior talking about how there could have been foul play involved and the depegging of UST. So it doesn't take a mathematician to put 2 and 2 together, right? Everyone knows that as long as you have the court of public opinion on your side, you can do about whatever the fuck you want. The government knows that best of all.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that, and like I said, I'm not an expert. I don't know anything. I'm a fucking idiot that plays around with fucking monkey PFPs, all right? But it's not outside the realm of possibility for me to see a world where their government had some foul play and depegging UST in an effort to get the public opinion on their side to regulate crypto. I mean, they've been trying to do it for so long. It's just public opinion is not on their side on it.
Yep.
So, I mean, that being said, though, the fact that UST could be depegged, that's raised its own problem of if it should have been considered a stable to begin with. Because from my understanding, the other ones, for the most part at least, being USDC and Tether, are backed by real world dollars to some extent.
Yep.
So it came out whenever Luna was on the decline and USD needed to get repegged, that they were selling off huge amounts of Bitcoin that they had in their reserves. The problem with that is they're backed by Bitcoin, which is another extremely volatile crypto.
Exactly.
So when they sell billions of Bitcoin at market value, like, how does that backed by anything than like pixie dust. You know, you're at the mercy of a market.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of understand where people are coming from with the fear element of it, of like, oh, if this can happen, USD can happen to others. But as long as Tether and USDC are backed by real world tangible dollars, I don't see how that could be a problem.
Shouldn't be. And I think we'll get there. I hope we get there.
I hope we get there too.
I think real world crypto integration is coming, and I think that's a huge hurdle to overcome to get to that point. People need to know that a stable coin is a stable coin. And that's what it means, that you know, if I hold this dollar in a stable coin, it's going to be stable. I mean, it's in the name, right? And so I get the fear of, you know, other, you know, like the market in general, but like for me, being a believer in it, like in crypto itself, like it's not a reason for me to be selling. Like it presented an opportunity for me to buy.
Same boat.
So,
all this was a buy the dip situation for me.
exactly.
Also, something people don't really think about often is, especially people that are crypto haters, which I always think this argument is hilarious, is they go, what is it backed by? What is it like? What even is it? Like, because they forget that stocks are just some arbitrary owners, like part ownership, right? But they'll be like, it's just fake online money. And my response to that is USDC and Tether are backed more than the United States dollar is.
Mm-hmm.
The gold standard's been out the window for forever. All that dollar bill in your wallet is an IOU from the government. Like that, it means nothing. It's valueless, especially with inflation going up as much as it is, especially with the literal trillions of dollars they printed during the pandemic. The value of the dollars, it's nothing now. It's worthless. And I think crypto, especially stable coins like USDC and Tether, great hedges against the dollar. Or like, I mean, personally, I wouldn't, because I mean, like USDC and Tether are still like, they're still pegged to a dollar, right? So as inflation gets worse, that impacts them poorly in that sense. So like my big players are like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for the people that make the argument of like, oh, it's just like online fake money or whatever, it just doesn't hold weight. I don't see a future for us where crypto is not the currency of the future.
Absolutely.
In some form. I mean, there's already governments that are making their own crypto. It's just like Venezuela, I think, is like buying tons of Bitcoin, if I remember. It's one of those South American countries.
El Salvador, I think.
Yeah. They're buying huge amounts of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's happening. And you just need to get on the boat.
Agree. Cool, man. Well, I think this was solid.
How long have we been going for?
Good start. I think we're about at an hour.
Okay, good timing.
I think 40-50 minutes, I think. But solid first episode. If you guys made it to the end or made it this far, appreciate that. Appreciate you. Look forward to many more. We got a lot coming. We got a lot of stuff down the pipeline. So hope you guys are excited. This is the beginning of hopefully a very long, successful journey.
I'm excited. Even if people don't listen in, we're going to be sitting here having conversations pretty much on a weekly basis anyways. So especially once we start bringing people in, like it's going to be great. I'm super excited.
And if you're interested, just hit us up. Let us know.
Yep.
I'm happy to have conversations.
My Twitter handle is @Burmpf, BURMPF. Super easy to find me. Hit me up. Say, hey, what's up? Love the podcast.
There we go. Hit up his Twitter. Mine is Jp3g, newly reformed, of course. But we'll call it here. You got anything else?
Actually, before we go,
what's up?
What caused you to do the rebranding on the JPEG thing? Because for people that don't know, before it was just JPEG. His thing on everything was just JPEG, but he changed it from JPEG to Jp3g, and I need to know what happened there.
So I went to buy a domain. JPEG.sol was taken. And so as far as, you know, what could come in the future, I wanted everything to be in sync. And so Jp3g was available. And so bought the domain, switched all the socials over, it's a little bit more identifiable, in my opinion, than just normal JPEG. I think in this universe, NFT, world, the term JPEG it's used a lot. So if I switching it up a little, if that makes it a little bit more noticeable, I'm all for it.
Cool.
Not a
I
real,
like it.
not a real reason. There's not a lot back to back it. So
Hey man, branding, apparently we've learned from the Bears. Branding is about everything, especially when you're like doing your own identity,
sure. Got those
But-
JPEG hoodies coming.
when
Okay.
JPEG works.
Cool, brother. All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Later, bro.